Hi guys. So something I wanted to talk about today was how I'm trying to build an audience. And I just touched on that in the October 2022 newsletter. God knows when this video will be. It might be the Christmas time, who knows. But was just talking about there, and I've been kind of bringing it up a lot more. I'm trying to get more eyes on my book covers to kind of even know I exist. And it's very frustrating because I've been writing books for a long time. I have 17 books out. Yes, I know. Everyone's like, "Oh, just go after a mainstream publisher and, these big publishers." It's a little more difficult than that. And and it's probably just me, but I have concerns. I get wrapped in with the wrong publisher, that I won't be able to put out the independent work and independent thought sort of that I do. I'm concerned that, it'll be like, well, audiences tend to like this sort of thing better, and so we want you to change that. And I have kind of run into that a little bit before. I won't get into all that, but yeah, that's kind of a concern of mine. Maybe it's not valid to some people. Maybe some people just write what people want to read. Well, I want to write what I want to write, or I don't want to write at all. And I know I have an audience because the people that read my books really like them, but it's really hard to get out there. I don't know how to do it. I've tried so many things, and people are like, why don't you try? Yeah, I already did that. It's just really difficult because I write dark fiction. I write about criminals. I don't write, if I wrote romance or some fluff piece, then people would be all over it because I don't know, that seems to be more popular. But I do have an audience. It's hard to reach out to find that audience. I have one thing I would like, if anybody has any thoughts or suggestions, let me know. Somebody said a book tour. Do you know how much book tour cost? You have to travel. You have to stay somewhere. That's and people, if they don't know you, they're not going to come see you. Like stuff like that, people kind of make it so casual. Why don't you just do that? Yeah, but if people don't know who you are, they don't come to book launches, they don't come to book tours unless they happen to be in a bookstore and they walk by and might talk to you for a bit, whatever. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't work for everyone, but I don't know if that would work for me. I feel like that's kind of an old school way of doing things. So much is online now. That's why I do these videos. I don't know. People have suggestions. I'm up for it. I would, in the meanwhile, request and ask nicely if people like, share, or subscribe to my channel, like my videos, share them with friends, share them on their Facebook, Twitter, wherever. That would be great. Just anything helps. All this stuff helps. And I people take it for granted that, it just, people go and pick up a book, but there's so many books out there. It's so easy to get lost in the shuffle. And, even go to your library, request that they have a copy of whatever book. Like, you have to suggest suggest a purchase sometimes, but you have to be a member of the library, the specific one where you live. So, like, I can't go on and request every library in the world to have my book. I'm not a patron of theirs. So, stuff like that. I mean, it doesn't cost a thing, but if you want to help, that would be so great. Everything helps. I mean, and I'm always trying to think of new ideas and see what other authors are doing. I like helping other authors too. I'm trying to figure out a way even to do that. I did before one time. I had a blog, or not a blog, a Twitter account just for that, but it just wasn't picking up, and I just dropped it because it was more work than it was really worth, and people weren't joining, and I don't know. It's very frustrating trying to figure out what works, and you find your audience, and nobody likes to read anymore, it seems. Everyone's like, can you do an audiobook? An audiobook's extremely expensive to make, as far as I can tell from the research I've done. It's not that, it's more throwing more money out, and not everybody likes audiobooks too. Sure, some do, but I know a lot of, like, avid readers who don't. So, I mean, I don't know. You kind of have to pick and choose. Maybe that's right, and I just don't know. The point is, I have to find something where I'm not spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to do all this stuff and advertise for people who are not paying attention. People are like, do ads here and there. Yeah, so they are ignored because I ignore ads. Like, it's not that simple. So I guess what I'm saying, I'm trying to figure out a formula. If people have ideas, suggestions, where do you find your books? Where do you find like a book you like and say, I want to read that? It's hard for me to kind of pick at that because I read a lot of nonfiction, so I see the authors talking on like maybe in a podcast or something. So it's kind of hard for me to fiction. I don't read as much, so I'm like, how do I hear about books? I don't know. I see them at the library. Or I see, well, you won't see mine at the bookstore because that's a whole other topic. But, you'll see them online and stuff. So I don't know if anyone has any thoughts, suggestions. Again, I'd like to do something more of helping other authors too. Not authors that sell tons of books every year and already has like 10 million followers. I mean, like people like me that I can help. I don't know, in some way. I don't know. I don't want to be one of those people who like, oh, you pay me this a month and I'll get you so many followers. None of that bullshit. Like something that really works and connects with people. Maybe I'll think of it someday. I don't know. Any thoughts? What do you think? Oh, and if you could help me, that would be awesome too. Thank you guys. Have a great day.